guys, welcome to my channel. This evening I'm about to do a practice run of Thanksgiving. I'm finna do my turkey, I'm gonna make my cornbread, and I'm gonna do my stuffing. And we're gonna do a practice run for Thanksgiving. And the reason why I wanna do a practice run is when I first left home and moved to Texas. Well, I had went to the store and I bought all my stuff for my dressing. I had my stovetop stuffing, my celery, my parsley, my garlic, all of that. I baked my cornbread and got ready to put it in the pan. And I said, wait a minute. I've seen my mama make dressing about 50 times, but I've never made dressing. So I called my mama. I say, Mama, can you tell me how to make dressing? She say, girl, many times you didn't see me make dressing. I say, yeah, right, seen you, but I've never made dressing. So I'm about to do a practice run and show you everything you need before Thanksgiving get here. I'm gonna make my cornbread. I usually make my cornbread with Jiffy, but for dressing, everybody don't like sweet cornbread. I'm gonna show you how to make the regular cornbread. And it's actually on the back of the cornmeal. All you do is follow the instructions, whatever it say. We're gonna make up our cornmeal for our cornbread. And I'm about to wash this turkey and show you how I fix my little turkeys. All right, here we go. Watch me.
Yeah, he messed it up.
I've been throwing this bird since yesterday, and he still feel like he's frozen. Now we're gonna get everything out of here. Wash them real good. Come straight. I gotta cut this off right here. Cut that flap of the turkey off right here. All right, here are some things that I got out of the turkey. I have my liver and gizzards. It was in here. I have my turkey necks, and I cut the butt off. I don't use none of this. I don't use none of that. I don't do the gizzards. I don't do none of that. Some people do. I never have. All I do to my turkey is I take my celery and I chop my celery up like so. Take the ends off the celery. Top and bottom. And I take my celery like this. And I just stuff it in the turkey. Some people do a whole lot of things to a turkey that I ain't about to do. I have me some butter. I usually take my butter. First, I take my seasoning. And I put my Tony Satchery all over my turkey. All over it. The front, the back, everywhere. All in the inside. All over. I see people that take butter and they put butter all over. They make a mixture and put it all. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. This is what I do to my turkey. I put a lot of celery in there. And I usually put a little seasoning. Want to grab me a little seasoning? The little packs of seasoning. I put my celery in here like this. And I put my butter in the inside of the turkey. Thank you. And I put me some seasoned onion and bell pepper in the inside of my turkey, just like this. This is what I do to my turkey. Now what This is it. And then I take me a little butter and I put it on the legs. And then I put it in the oven. I'm going to sprinkle me a little garlic powder, onion powder, and honestly, that's all I do to my turkey. And that's it. I'm about to put it in the oven on 350 for 3 hours. All right, and while my turkey is baking, I'm gonna be fixing my cornbread, because when this juice start coming out of here, I'm gonna need some of that juice for my dressing. All right. All right, for our cornbread, usually I use Jiffy, but like I say, some people don't like sweet cornbread. So I'm not gonna use Jiffy today 100%, but I'm gonna put a half of this in here. That's your choice. You can use the recipe on the back of your cornmeal, because when you're fixing dressing, you want it to taste not sweet. All right, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put 2 cups of this cornmeal in here. All right, 2 cups of cornmeal. And I'm going to put 1 cup of my flour. And since this is all-purpose flour, I'm gonna have to add, I'm gonna put a cup of flour in here. And I'm going to add a little bit baking powder. Just a little bit. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna put one teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm gonna put a little bit salt, a little bit, half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna mix this like so. And like I said, it's optional whether you want to put Jiffy or not. I'm gonna put a half a Jiffy because I don't like my cornbread coarse. So I'm just gonna put a half a box of Jiffy in here. All right, here we go. I have 2 cups. I have a cup of flour, a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon of baking soda. You really can't go wrong with cornbread because it's going in the dressing. You're gonna make a mixture out of it anyway. All right, and I'm gonna put my milk, about a cup of milk. And I'm going to put 1 egg. All right, and here we have it. That's our cornbread. Not yet, Jimmy. And I'm gonna put a little bit more milk in here because I put that Jiffy in here. Can you see this? All right, this is the consistency you want for your cornbread. Not too thick, not too thin. And I'm gonna take my baking pan and I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here, about a tablespoon of oil. And I like to mix mine. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon of butter. And I'm gonna run it through the oven and I'm gonna let it get hot. All right.
on.
All right, I have my 2 tablespoons of oil and my tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna add it to my cornbread mixture while it's hot. And I'm gonna pour it in my pan, just like this. And here we have it. This is our cornbread for our dressing. The turkey's in the oven. All right. I'm about to put my cornbread in the oven. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna take a cup of water and put it in with my turkey so my turkey won't be dry. I forgot to put my water in. All right, here we go. All right, John. All right, guys, while my turkey has been in the oven, I've been actually cutting up my onion. And if you've seen me do a couple of videos, one thing I don't usually do is cut my seasoning up, because I like to use my seasoning blend. But for Thanksgiving, I don't play with my food for Thanksgiving. I don't cut corners. And I'm about to cut up my celery. First, you have to wash these celery stalks, because they have dirt at the bottom of it. You have to wash this, and you're gonna cut your ends off. Wash your vegetables good. And I'm gonna cut this off, and I'm going to chop that up. But first of all, I want to take a little foil and put over my turkey that's in the oven, so my stomach won't get brown. I'm just gonna put a little foil over here. And he's been baking for about an hour and a half, and I see some juice. My cornbread is ready. I'm gonna take my seasoning and mix it up after I saute my onion and my celery. Then I'm gonna start sauteing my vegetables. All right, I'm gonna get these celery stalks cut in small pieces. Okay. As fine as I can get it, because it's going to go in my dressing. And I'm probably going to use some of this and about half this onion for my dressing. We're about to get some butter and put it. All right, here we go, guys. We're about to get our vegetables cooked. And I have me a stick of butter that I'm about to put in this pan so I can melt my butter. And I'm going to put all of these vegetables in this frying pan with my butter. All these vegetables. My celery and my onion. This is going to go in my dressing. But I'm going to let it cook down a little bit. Let that saute for about 7 minutes. These vegetables are getting a little tender. And that's just like I like it. All right, here are the things that I like to put in my dressing. I like my cornbread. I got me some herb seasoning, stuffing, breadcrumbs. I have me some stovetop. I have me some breadcrumbs. And of course, my Tony Saturé. I have me some garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, and I'm going to wet it with some chicken broth. And of course, you're going to need a couple of eggs to hold your dressing together. All right, here we go. All right. Now you're going to have to be the judge of what size pan you're going to use to mix your dressing in. This one I think is going to be a little too small, so I'm going to use the big one. And I'm going to take my cornbread and I'm going to cut my cornbread into squares. And I'm going to take my cornbread. See how my cornbread came out? It's not my Jiffy. It's a little rougher than Jiffy. But I did put a little bit Jiffy in mine. Not as much as I normally would have. All right, I'm going to put this cornbread, crumble my cornbread up. And I still have my onion and bell pepper still sauteing a little bit. But I'm going to take my cornbread. I'm crumbling all my cornbread up. And then I'm going to take some of my stuffing. And I'll put some of my stuffing in here. And that's going to give it a different seasoning. And of course, gotta have my stovetop. And I'll mix all these different stuffings in here. And it's got all those different herbs and seasonings in there. Now this already gonna have a lot of seasoning. Of course, I'm gonna put some Tony Saturé in here. I love it. Just a little bit now, because they got a lot of stuff in here. I'm gonna go ahead and let my onion and bell pepper be cooling off. But it's your choice, what kind of stuffings you want to use. You got to play with it a little bit. All right. And I have me some breadcrumbs I'm going to put in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet this with some chicken broth. And I have my turkey going in the oven, so I'm going to be able to use some of that juice too. I have my broth. I need to wet this dressing, this cornbread, as best as I know how. Because once it go in the oven, it's going to get, you know, it's going to dry out. So you're going to need your cornbread wet. And I'm going to take me a little juice from my turkey and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to take my seasoning that I've been sauteing with my stick of butter and I'm going to add that to it. So my celery is not hard anymore. And I'm going to stir all that around. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take me a couple of eggs and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to go ahead and put all 3 of these eggs in here. And I'll put me a little milk in here. I'm going to put me a little milk in my eggs. Because I want this cornbread wet. All right. He's still wetting his cornbread. Beginning to look like dressing. Now we got all these different mixtures in here. Now I'm going to try and get me a little broth from my turkey. That's what I want right now in here. All right, I was able to pull me a little turkey broth. Steal me a little turkey broth off my turkey. And I'm going to put that in there. Put me some parsley in here. And I'm going to put me a little onion powder. And a little garlic powder. All right. Now I'm going to finish stirring up my dressing. It's wet. I put the eggs, the milk, the chicken broth, all that in here. And you can taste it to see if it's the taste you desire. But you're going to wet all your cornbreads up in here. All your stovetop stuffings, all your stuffings. You have your onion, your seasoning, all that in here. Now this is the way my mama taught me how to make dressing. And I'm sure every mother have their own little technique. But this is ours. And that's your consistency. Make sure your dressing is wet. Your seasoning in there, all that. All right, what I need me some more butter. Because I'm about to take this dressing, and I'm going to put me a little butter at the bottom of it, and I'm going to put me some butter at the top of it. Just a little bit. All right, now I'm about to put my dressing in the pan. It's wet. And here we go. Here's our dressing. Now this is the way my dressing looks. And I'm about to put it in the oven. This is what we have. Cornbread dressing. The turkey is ready. My pie is ready. And we're about to have us a little Thanksgiving run. So in about 3 weeks when Thanksgiving get here, we'll already be done had our Thanksgiving, and when we cook that day, we should be able to get it right. All right, I'm about to run this through the oven for about 30 minutes. Here we go. And our turkey is getting golden brown. Just like I like it. All right, this is a glimpse of my turkey, and he's been on for about 2.5 hours. And he's coming along pretty good, I'd say. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Okay, guys, here we are. I'd say I did pretty good, I'd say. Have our seasonings in here.
I see Thanksgiving came early.
And here we go. Finished product.
I mean, we had
Bon
to kill the bird to do
appetit.
it, but I'll take it.
Bon appetit. I say he looked good.